We're on. We're going to ahead and call this meeting to order. I've asked Councilman Lamar to lead us in prayer and pledge. Please rise.
Please bow your heads. Lord, be with us tonight as we conduct the city's business and guide us in making the best decisions for what we think is best for the community and listening to their needs. Be with all of our city employees out there as they're working for us 24/7 and give them strength and safety to perform their duties and to help keep the city rolling on track. And also be with our troops overseas as they are in harm's way both around the world. In Jesus' name, amen. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I always love when we do the pledge, noticing our gentlemen that have and women that have served. You can always tell by their posture and the way they hold their hands. It's just kind of cool to see that. So thank you for leading us in that, Terry. At this time, I have two petitions from the audience. Do I have a Trent Love? I do not. Do I have Mr. Ward? I do not.
Roll call?
We'll do roll call. Just want to say that. I'll go back. I'll give him one more chance.
Lamar,
Here.
Shropshire,
Here.
Bradshaw. Here. Bashirs,
Here.
Brown, Trammell,
Here.
Gantier,
Here.
Smith,
Okay, one more time. Any petitions from the audience present? Okay, we're going to go on to our department head report. I did not grab the report off my desk for the building inspector. We'll go on to emergency management. Mr. Jensen? It's all right. Sorry.
I just want to let everybody know that today is the day that we change over to our new mass notification system. If you haven't gone on there and registered for it, please do. There's a QR code on the city's website. You just put in there and you put your information in. So if anybody hasn't done that you know, that would be a good time to do that. And we'll have the county's webpage up and running with it here probably the next day or two, and then that'll be ready. One other thing, we've had a lot of calls after the tornado last week about why the sirens didn't go off. I know we've been over this many times in the past, but the Weather Service has to issue a tornado warning for the city of Pryor, somewhere that it touches the city of Pryor, before we activate the storm sirens, which they did not. That happens on occasion when you have a storm that's a tornado that forms off the leading edge of a storm like that. It just comes down real quick. Even though it went a couple of miles, it's pretty quick in radar live. And so they missed it, they didn't see it. They barely caught the one in Salina, which was a little bit later, but that was the reason the sirens weren't activated, is because we were not under a warning. We was under a severe thunderstorm warning, but not a tornado warning. Any questions?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned before that when the sirens do go off, that's a notification for you to seek out official information.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people use that as their go-to for the warning. That's not a good plan.
No.
That the sirens were put in place years ago for people that are working outside, shopping, getting gas or something like that, that are away from their TV or phone or whatever. The siren goes off, they know that they need to go find more information. That's the whole purpose of them.
Well, it's interesting. That last storm before this, I came down on your invite, and I think I was down there for several hours.
Yeah, you was there a long time.
Which is really interesting because, we talk about the different types of warnings. We hear on social media, some of the people are like, I didn't hear my phone went off, but I didn't hear the siren. Mm-hmm. And it was, I get it, and I want to make sure that I can convey it correctly. So if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Okay.
There's multiple systems at play. There's the polygon system, and that's one you're just talking about. The Weather Service doesn't put up a polygon. You're not putting on those sirens unless you're specifically said, hit it. But then you're only going to hit the sirens that are inside that polygon.
Correct.
And The phone services, though, are done through a cellular, your region, your area.
Yes,
So you could live right on the edge of that polygon and, you know what I'm getting at. You may get one, but you may not get the other because of where you live.
yeah, what happens is the weather service, they use a different system. They do use a system that uses cell tower sites. So if the polygon encompasses a cell tower, let's say right here by First Street, includes that cell tower, every phone in reach of that cell tower is gonna go off.
Right.
Even though maybe the storm's going that way and you live that way, it's still gonna go off. And the reason it goes off is because it's in reach of that cell tower. How we do it for the sirens itself, we only have two reasons that we would activate the sirens. One is that the polygon touches the city of Pryor somewhere. They're all connected, all the sirens are connected. So if one goes off, they all go off. But it has to touch the city of Pryor's limit somewhere before we would activate it. The only other reason we would activate it is if the fire department, police department, or one of our guys actually see a tornado before the weather service issues it.
And when you say activate, I want to be clear, what they do is they literally have like a motherboard. And that last one, when it was, where Sportsman Acre, Pryor, here, Lusta, whatever it is, that was in that polygon, those are the buttons that Mr. Dunham activated
Yep.
on that keyboard. So it's very specific. It's not like an all call.
No,
So just for clarifying on that. And then I did have one question
Okay.
on your new phone service. I've gotten a lot of elderly that have said, the very last question on there is, do you need evacuation assistance?
okay,
And they wanted some clarification on that, so I just refer them to you.
that's perfect. Yeah, if they have some concern, anybody that has a concern like that, just give them our number at the office and we'll take care of them.
It takes 30 seconds to sign
Oh,
that.
very easy.
Phone number, type of phone, address, and you're done.
And not only does it give specific information that has to do with Meigs County or the city of Pryor itself. So like, for example, if the police department's chasing somebody, Jeremy may want to send out a message that says, stay away, lock your doors, don't open your windows, whatever the case may be. But in addition to that, you can also get your weather warnings that we're talking about,
Flood warnings.
flood, tornadoes, severe thunderstorm warning, whatever, and that's all free of charge, the county's paying for it.
And you can opt to voice, tone, or voice and tone for each one of those individual. So make sure when you set that up, and I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to the group.
Right.
Make sure that you set that up appropriately. If you need help, we
Yep,
can help
call
you
our
get that
number.
set up. It's easy.
Yep, we'll help them, whatever they need.
All right.
In reference to that storm, it developed rapidly and right over us.
Yep,
I mean,
very quick.
It just like boom, boom, and that's probably why they didn't give a warning, because it just happened that quick.
And typically on those leading edge tornadoes like that, to be honest with you, once they see it on radar, it's already gone. They'll issue a warning, but it's already too late. If you was standing there, it would have done been up and gone before the warning went off anyway.
But if you're the one that moved the hatchet, we're gonna find you.
Yep,
That's all we gotta say about it. We'll
Yeah.
find you. All right, well, thank
All right.
you, sir.
you bet.
BK?
We've been getting ready for the weekend, 4th of July, so fireworks stands doing inspections there. Of course, we just want everybody to be safe, have fun, respect their neighbors, and pay attention to what you're doing. A shift today, they went out, looked around the fairgrounds where y'all are gonna have the Freedom Fest deal. So they kinda got an idea, cause they'll be the shift on duty Friday, so the captain then went out there, kinda pre-planned it and all that stuff, so y'all be in good hands there. We've been going to the schools quite a bit. There's a lot of construction going on, and they're getting after it to try to get everything back up and going before the school year starts. So there's just a lot of building stuff going on as well. Y'all have any questions for me
Did they give a thumbs up?
on?
Freedom Fest?
Brandon,
Are we good for Friday?
you got it figured all out for Friday?
We're good?
Yep.
Better be.
All right.
The other thing too is on the ladder, we'll pick a placement with you on that.
I got that. I'll show you.
Yep. So we'll get that all squared away, but that's all we got going right now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
No brush fires, huh? Much ranges we've got.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
The golf course just came off of its best financial year ever, so revenues were up about 7% over the previous best year ever, so which equates to about $55,000 for the year. So the golf course is just doing awesome. We just hosted the chamber tournament June 13th. It was a great event. I think they did really well. Houston Britton, he does a fantastic job. He really does. So, we're fixing to host the Lions Night Tournament on July 18th. So that's coming up. It's almost already full. Bridges, we've got 2 bridges installed yesterday, so I'll pass these down if y'all want to take a look at them and pass them around. But 2 beautiful bridges, Jerry Cowan, Elite Fabricators, and put 2 bridges out already. Got 3 more to do, but the first one they did is a 8-foot by 65-foot bridge on hole number 2. Then they did an 8-foot by 50-foot bridge on hole number 18. So we got a little work to do to tie bridges, the tops into the current pavement. But once we do that, it's just going to be awesome. So really tickled to have some nice, beautiful bridges out there, and so it's all coming together.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
Well, that's awesome. Those are made right here in Pryor, so.
Yes, and we're going to put up a really nice sign, or Jerry's actually doing the sign, Jerry Callen at Lee, on all the people who donated to the bridges, which was quite a few people.
We also have your wayfinding signages done and paid for.
Oh, awesome,
So,
great.
That's working with T-Set to give us some directions and which way to go. All of that, we have hand-picked artwork from Tracy Rabbit will be the background on all of those signs to tell you which way to go, this hole, that hole. That was paid for by T-Set and the Healthy Living program.
They're beautiful signs. Tracy Rabbit designed it beautiful. I mean, it's really neat. So that's kind of a neat thing to have out there. Little.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Carrie.
We are officially halfway through our summer reading program. I sent you our statistics in your email. The questions answered and the door count numbers will change. I'm still waiting on some of those reports. Questions answered will go up, and then the average number of people through the building every day may go down a little bit. But our summer reading registration, we have 466 people registered so far. We usually don't get very many more in July. Usually everybody rushes in and registers in June, and then we kind of coast through July, which makes sense. We've had 29 events, not including the kickoff event, and those events are, the Youth Services Department is doing 6 programs every week. So on Tuesdays, we have 2 programs for kids ages 5 to 11. Wednesdays, we have 2 story times. Thursdays, we have 2 teen programs. And then we've had some adult programs as well. And everything is averaging 20 to 50 people per event that we have. And then our kickoff event, the Youth Services Department, Autumn and her staff, planned all of that and coordinated everything. And it was a huge undertaking.
Awesome.
And it was really, really great.
And it didn't rain, like it worked out
I know,
perfectly.
it did, yeah. And yeah, initially we were gonna have it in the green space,
Yeah.
but it was basically a swamp.
Yeah, it was.
So having it in our parking lot worked out. We have learned a lot of things. There were some miscommunications and some other things that we'll do better next year, but I think Autumn estimates that we had about 500 people at the kickoff. I know the Lions Club cooked at least 200 hamburgers, and I think it was a huge success.
When we get about 30 days out, we'll get you the placer numbers so we can find out exactly how.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be great. And then we are also, speaking of food, we are a food box distribution place in town in partnership with the Food Bank of Eastern Oklahoma. So far, as of close yesterday, we've given out 1,842 food boxes. Each box contains 5 breakfasts and 5 lunches, so multiply that by 10, and we've got 18,420 meals that we've distributed to children in our community. It's just for kids.
That is awesome. Thank you.
It is really great.
I'm so excited.
And this year, our deliveries are double from what they were last year, and we're still running out. We have a few boxes left now, I think, but we usually run out Tuesday or Wednesday morning. And then a huge thank you to the fire department. Every week they come and help us bring the 400 boxes in the library, but last week we had a double delivery because they were not able to deliver this Monday. So we had 800 boxes and a semi that broke. So the lift gate didn't lift gate, and we had to touch every one of those 800 boxes twice. And all 6 firefighters on duty came, and they did not complain at all, and it was really amazing. So they've saved our bacon quite a bit this summer. You guys have any questions for me?
I want to compliment again your youth program with passports. I signed 2 today, are stamped. This year, thank you for not making me a monkey this year. Rather, I'm a dolphin. But the cool thing is to see these passports that these kids are going from businesses to other places in town. And usually by the time they get here, I tend to be the last one, which is great to see that they've been all over town in the businesses again. And they're all super positive and excited.
Yeah.
So
Well, we've got new
congratulations for that.
businesses involved this year that we didn't have last year. So you can get the businesses. I think Autumn says she estimates about an hour driving around to all of the different places out in the community. So it's been, and I talked to some of the business owners, and they say that their sales are pretty good, and they think that it's because of the
Tied to those
passport.
events.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good job. All
All
right.
right. Thanks.
Thank you. Parks and Cemetery. Frank, on your way up, I want to take a small moment, and I'm also going to throw it out there for everybody. The help that the community received on the cemetery cleanup. There are some things that just, I'm going to say it, sound cliche, will warm your heart in ways that nothing else can. We got hit pretty hard. That cemetery took the brunt of the tornado. We did a call to action. We got Mays County 1, Mays County 2, Cherokee Nation brought a chainsaw crew, your crew, Buddy's crew came together beforehand, got the hazards mitigated. I worked with Councilman Lamar and Councilman Choya Shropshire.
That's good. That's fine.
Either way, we love you. To work on a 3-step plan, mitigate the hazards, clean up, and move on to restoration. When we got to the cleanup on Saturday, a cemetery being hit, we've learned is a different set of emotions than homes and structures, because it's people's loved ones, and the emotions are just different. And so it was great to see. We had over 100 people show up, and within about a 2-hour time frame, Councilman Gantier was cooking them burgers, and they were on their way. And so I want to thank the community, but I really want to thank your crew for the overtime, Buddy, your guys for the time they put in, Councilman for the work on that.
Might want to mention the water boy over there.
Oh my gosh,
Water boy.
the water boy,
Bobby Boucher!
Bobby Boucher. There we go. Oh my gosh. All right, you know that reference, Bobby Boucher.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get you a sweater for Christmas. But I want to really thank everybody that came together for that. We have a lot of work to do yet. We had, about 250 flags we marked, damaged tombstones. And this is the last I'm going to say, but I want to throw it out there. We need to remember that when you buy those deeds, this is not fun to say, this isn't something, but it's informational. When you buy a plot, you are buying real estate. When you buy that real estate, it's your private property. So each of those graves belongs to who they belong to. Anything you put on those graves, whether it's a tombstone, toys, sentimentals, those belong to you. That is private property. And so with that, when it comes to insurance, you want to make sure that you check up with your homeowner's insurance. A lot of them will cover monuments, but that unfortunately is not covered under the city's insurance policy, nor will it be covered under tort claims. So we just need to make sure that's the downside to it. That's why I would rather a cemetery never get hit by a tornado. But thanks to everybody that pitched in. That's a proud community moment for Pryor. All right, Frank, I'm sorry, go ahead.
On that note, I wanted to personally thank everyone for the help too, because I was about to panic. I didn't, but so appreciate everybody, And it was another downside to that, you know, it's like, just so happened the following week, you know, each of these were already pre-planned. Had one guy on vacation, one last week, and the other one's on vacation this week. So, makes me even more appreciative of what everybody done, because since then, we haven't been able to, we're doing good to keep it mowed and the funerals. You know, I've been out there and helped with the funerals and stuff, and I got the one full-time and one temporary, and so we're doing what we can. The park, because we was away from that 1 week, they played catch-up at the park last week, and we're trying to finish some projects, so. Right now, we're doing everything we can. You know, it's gonna take a while, you know, on the cemetery, but everything's going along. I don't really know what else to say, so we're just doing what we can. Yeah. So unless y'all have any questions, I don't really. Just appreciate all the help.
Thank you, sir. All right, Police Animal Shelter Chief Cantrell.
So, kind of the big one of the month was the accident on Highway 69 a couple weeks ago in the fog. You know, when that fog rolls in like that, it's extremely dangerous. It's dangerous anyway. Just, I mean, the speed limit's through there. You know, they're running 55 when you get south of town, and they start trying to stop at those lights. Traffic backs up at Walmart, so it's a dangerous area. That accident actually could have been a whole lot worse. One of the semi was actually in the far right lane. The traffic was stopped to the stoplight. The fog, you know, was hard to see. He jerked at the last second, and he missed the semi, and he hit the truck. He went through the center median, crossed in the northbound side, nearly missed another vehicle that was northbound. Then he turned over, and he slid into the signal pole, and it split between the cab and the trailer, and it kind of threw the cab off to the side, and then it split the trailer open and threw raw turkey breast all over the highway. So it was a mess, but fortunately, nobody was too seriously hurt. There was one guy to be transported, had some broken bones and some surgery, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Since that time, Sergeant Garrett and Lieutenant Thornton with the Highway Patrol have spoken to ODOT. ODOT was out there that day. They're talking about doing some rumble strips and things along the highway, and I think for the fog, there needs to be some flashing lights. We have done a special emphasis the last 2 days, and I'm gonna get some numbers, but they were out on the highway in our detective vehicles and my truck, and they were just stopping red light runners, and it was constant. I mean, you could sit there all day long and write tickets, and it's just a problem that we're gonna have to address. The speed limit's one of them, and just someone won't stop. You know, they just, well, I can't stop.
Well, and I want to say to Sergeant Garrett and their efforts, they are reaching back now. ODOT is reaching back. That dialogue has started to address the speed limits. You know, we can all be naysayers and say, well, we can drop the speed. It isn't going to slow them down. But the idea is, there's nothing we're going to do that's going to be 100% the program. But there are collaborative efforts to try to mitigate the speed issues, the light issues. We're still working with state and other agencies. If you represent a political figure, you've heard my spiel. Mullen's office, Burkeen's office, they've all heard the spiel about the lights. The emphasis that we've got to do it. When we did the Legacy grant, we included those lights in there. This highway situation is a top priority for us to get, but it's going to be expensive, and it's going to just take the right combination of stuff. So thank you for your stuff on that.
And I think we're going to continue to do that, just do every so often do an emphasis where we just do a light running and focus on it. We got the speed trailer in yesterday afternoon. I'm still messing with it, trying to get it all set up, but I did set it up by the rec center if anybody went by there today. And it was probably 1 in every 3 cars was speeding. I mean, it was constant with me standing there. I mean, so it doesn't matter where you're at. I mean, it's just all over town. You know, obviously education is part of that, but also the enforcement side of it, guys getting out and doing that stuff. So hopefully we see some of that. And like I said, we'll move that around town. We can use it for other events as well. I think it'll be a handy tool. Other than that, that's about all I got.
Shelter, we've actually got more out this month than we brought in, so that's a good deal.
You had 85 animal calls on our calls that I saw.
Becky, my kids want me to come look at that little biscuit dog you got.
She's already been sent to rescue.
Son of a
Like,
That's
that
too bad.
dog was gonna leave instantly the first
They do
5
have-
minutes of the 5 days up. She
They
was
have 2
leaving.
pigs, if you want a pig. So, there you go.
It's available for adoption today.
There you
but-
go. So,
And then I just wanna say thank you to the paper. They got together a lot of other businesses that, brought us in some donations, some really good donations and money. And then they bought some $25 gift cards for adoptions. People really trying to help us get them out of here alive, so.
when they're
that's
running the
great.
ads every week, right?
Oh, yeah, they
Put
do
the
run
ads
the
in.
ads
I've
every
noticed
week
that.
too. so-
Andy was very proud of that, Terry, so make sure she knows that we're grateful for her.
Very thankful.
Yes, very thankful, thank you. And Tractor Supply donated 2 pallets of food today, so there's a lot of community
We got a
support,
great
which
community, guys. All right,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, Rec Center.
Good evening, everybody. We're right in the middle of the summer, like everybody, just kind of cruising along. We have lots of activity in our pool, as you can imagine. Our our day passes were up 277 over last month, and most of that was pool activity because we've got more family swim going on. Did get a couple bids in on the HVAC unit, so that'll run its course through our board and all, and get here eventually, so that'll be forthcoming. We had a great membership month last month. You know, that 2,000 mark's been our goal. We hit that again and went higher than March, up to 2,180. You know, the Cherokee Nation program is thriving. Their total for the month was 666. And then we had 167 other new members. So, you know, we hit that mark twice this year, and that was one of our main goals as a group. So we're happy, and I think I mentioned before, I attribute that to, you know, I tell our staff, you know, these things are the byproduct of the job that they do. And so we're fortunate to have the staff that we have there. So we had a couple of water safety days. We gave out 51 life jackets, or we took in measurements and stuff, and we ordered 51 life jackets to give out to kids for free, courtesy of GRDA. We wrote a little grant, and they gave us $1,000. So we've been distributing those here in the last couple weeks. We hosted a swim meet on Monday. It was a small one, but nevertheless, we hosted one to kind of get that rolling. That was good. We did kind of the other big thing we did was an active shooter drill. I think I announced we were going to do that, so we did conduct that about 2 weeks ago. You know, it went okay. What it did is it exposed some weaknesses and some things that we need to address, and so we'll be working on that, you know, for the future to get something going again on that. So that's really about it. Those are kind of the highlights for this summer. So
I have a question about an invoice.
sure.
If you look at it.
Yeah.
Was it something that we ordered and it just took a little while to come in?
Well, they installed these over time, the intruder alarm.
So that's why it's past the date they wanted the invoice paid.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yeah, so I think on that one, they invoice us, and then they install them, and then we pay as we go. So
Okay, all right, well, that does explain it, 'cause it was a big jump.
And that was one of the things. So on the intruder drill, so we need to put one inside the Boys and Girls Club, and then also in the pool area, we have one in there, but the afternoon it was busy with lots of kids, and there was a lot of racket in there, and Jackie, of course, she knew it was coming, but said if she didn't, it would have been difficult to really hear and understand what's going on, so we'll add another light and siren in there, so.
All right, well, thank you, sir.
Anything else? Okay.
Thank
All right, yep.
Street. You gonna be all right? You look like you all stoked up.
Knees ain't what they used to be. Like I said, just kind of just a short thing. Again, we've been back out mowing drainages again with all the rain that we've had. We've been out of them. We've sprayed them once, but it's just not, it's been so wet that the spray will kill it for just a little bit, but it grows back up pretty fast. We have been back out there a couple times at the fairgrounds. We went out there today and remowed that one more time. We didn't mow it any shorter, but we just went over the height that it was. Been trying to paint crosswalks. I mean, that's been between things that's been going on. We dipped some few ditches. We done some out there on Old Highway 20. Over on Orr Street, there was a couple that we've done over there that the pipes was silt built up, so we went over and dipped them out, got the water flowing. Put a couple pipe in over off of Hare Street. Homeowner, one of them, we supplied the original drive and he supplied another one. And we installed everything over there and got it going. He was happy. Southwest Graham Court, I don't remember if I said that, we rotted out some pipes over there. And over on Irving Street and Bryan Street, we rotted some of those out. They had some trash built up inside of them. The metal walk there at 9th and Elliott, there by Station 2, we repaired it. The trucks and stuff that's been out there working on the football fields or the school or whatever it is out there, they've been cutting it short and they bent it all up. So we got that repaired. Picked up a few trees from the storm. People called us and we went out and got them. Worked on a brush dump. I mean, like I said, there's been a lot of brush brought in out there. So we went and got it all straightened up, installed some of the old ashes off. We had something we have to look forward to in the future. I don't know whose ward that would be, but Old Airport Road.
Yeah.
Something we need to look at in the future. They're just gravel roads out there. We got some drainage we need to do first, but we went out there and repaired the roads. I mean, they've been pretty good. Anytime something goes on, they'll usually call us. So we went out there and done some repair to that. Monday, I know we have asphalt overlay coming Monday and Tuesday this next week, but also have a sweeper demonstration coming in Monday sometime. I think 8:30, 9 o'clock they're supposed to be out. So all the contacts that I made with them, I called 3 or 4 people. I've only got a couple that's gotten back with me. Well, matter of fact, 3, but one of them is not what we're really looking for. It's more of a, I don't know. To me, it was more like a play toy. I mean, I don't think it would stand up to what we was needing. But one is supposed, so far, like I said, is bringing a demonstration Monday, so we're gonna go down and look at that one. And
Where are they gonna demonstrate?
I'm not real sure. Or we probably just go down Taylor Street or just somewhere.
Just for giggles, I wonder if they could run it down the cemetery roads, because that would really be a good, I mean, it's not bad out there, but look at that and see, that would be really helpful.
Well, I mean, if it needs to be done, I mean, we finally got our other one back, but nobody has said anything about going out there and sweeping it. I mean, it's,
Right,
I'm afraid I don't wanna go too far, because if it breaks down,
yeah.
we're just gonna put a for sale sign on it right there, whatever street it is, make offer.
I don't blame you.
Throw the keys on the floor and
Yeah,
walk away.
throw it down through there and here you go.
Yeah,
But, and like I said, I know a lot of, some have demonstrations and like there's some that they'll bring it and show it. They don't wanna, they can't run it too much because then they can't sell it as a new one.
okay.
So I'm not sure what their demonstration, but I told them, I said, I would still like to see it before we purchase it, because that's a lot of money for that.
Yep.
And other than that, I mean, we've got some other things, we got a lot of things that's planned. I mean, we've got pipe to put in, some other ditches. Again, we gotta finish up the crosswalks and everything, so I mean, we've got a lot going on, it's just we gotta get the weather to be able to do it, so. But other than that, it's all good. Y'all got anything for me, or?
Thank you. No, thanks to you guys again for helping on that.
Yeah, they did a great job.
That's how we roll in the shower.
Anna? You're the last one.
Okay, on June 23rd, the city had 2 open enrollment meetings with Brown & Brown and Aflac. Employee attendance was very high and elections were made through the Employee Navigator. I'd like to add that things went very well with the Employee Navigator, and it's been a great resource for the employees. Soon it's going to integrate with Paylocity and be even cooler. I'm working with Paylocity and Casell right now to fix up the GL import files so that our financials will be made whole. And that's all I got.
Question.
Yes.
What do you have for our latest financial report?
Like I said, the GL we're working on with Paylocity. Once I get that fixed up, we should be able to get a good report.
Okay, what's the latest month you got, I guess, for the next?
What Lori sent
It was preliminary April.
was the preliminary, yes. I've got 6 payrolls to fix with this GL import, and then it'll be good to go.
that was part of the problem on the last couple, that we realized there were some payroll with the uploading and things, there's some kinks that gotta be worked out, so that's what she's working on.
Do we expect with April's potentially to have such a wide difference the way March, I know you all put in a lot of work to get March where it's at, and that,
Well,
you and Lori
we
went through a lot of
started
work for
Paylocity
that.
the last of April,
Mhm.
so that didn't have anything to do with Paylocities.
I know, well, what I meant by, for the financials, the March preliminary and the March final had a very big difference. And as far as like,
They're related to those payroll issues that
Right.
we gotta get worked out, so.
but I was just saying, as far as the April preliminary, we're not expecting that wide of a gap between that and the finals. As far as,
It's just the last part of April has to be,
okay,
will be fixed whenever I get these.
okay,
But if I'm not mistaken, the April preliminary did not have payroll on it that I could see. The one that I saw, so.
It should be part of it.
well, it should just be the last, it should just be the last part that she
The
mentioned.
general fund,
It's
it
gotta
still
get
hits
into
the
the end.
general fund, so.
All right, thank you. We've got, I want to excuse Mr. McBride. He's had a very rough day. He called right before the meeting and was experiencing some health issues and some bone pain. Said he could make it. I said, go home and take your pain pill.
Yeah.
He's had a rough week as he gets to this part of his chemotherapy. And so if we need him, he is available to answer the phone, but he needed to be home resting. So we're going to jump to, because we've got guys waiting in the hallway for this next part, we're going to jump to the city attorney's report so that they don't have to wait all night. Item A, possible executive session for the purpose of confidential communication with the attorney and city bargaining committee regarding the status of and ongoing actions related to Local 3567 of the Internal Association, or International Association of Firefighters, AFL-CIO, CLC, collective bargaining agreement negotiations pursuant to 25-307B2 and 4.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion from Rashirs and a second from Gantier. When you're ready, call for that one.
Omar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier.
Yes.
Smith.
We will return shortly. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll just come back to regular session and there's no action on that, so don't worry about it. All right, are you ready? All right. Consider resuming regular session. No action taken during executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Are you ready? Call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Shears,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Okay, item C, discussion and possible action regarding the amended pay scale for police salaries in the previously approved 25-26 Fraternal Order of Police Collective Bargaining Agreement to correct clerical errors in the originally entered pay scales.
Make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion from from Bradshaw, second from Brashears. This was a clerical error that was found after both parties looked at it. The FOP brought it to our attention that it was actually needing to be corrected. It was actually to their favor. And so we're just looking to make that correction, but we need a vote on that. Further discussion, call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Shears,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Thank you. Discussion and possible action regarding the 25-26 extension to negotiate with Fire Union Local 3567, originally signed and delivered and received May 29th, 2025.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion from Lamar, second from Gantier. Discussion. Call for the vote.
Shears,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll go back to the consent agenda, item 4. Are there any items that you guys would like to have pulled?
A and B.
A and B.
See,
You what?
I said see you.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to approve C through M?
Motion?
I have a motion from Choya and a second from Gantier. You may call for that vote when you're ready.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Shears,
Yes.
Item A, approve the minutes of the June 17th, 25 council meeting.
Motion.
Motion
Second.
from Bradshaw, second from Gantier.
Shears,
What did I say? Bradshaw, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you for being on top of that. I didn't even look up. All right. Discussion on that, call for the vote.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Abstain.
Shears,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Okay, item B, approve the minutes of the June 23rd, 2025 special council meeting.
So
No.
moved.
Second.
And a motion from Gantier and a second from Brashears. And call for the vote.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Abstain.
Shears,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Thank you. Item 5, mayor's report. Discussion and possible action.
Do we get C? Did he say C?
Do what? No. No, he said see ya to them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He said see ya.
Oh,
So,
Never mind.
no, it's okay.
they're ready to do C.
Glad you're paying
See
attention.
through one, huh?
All right. Item 5, mayor's report, discussion and possible action regarding the annual renewal of the workers' compensation and employers' liability insurance policy, 000-02273-25-1 with ComSource Mutual Insurance Company as presented.
Motion?
I have a motion from Choya and a second from Gantier. Discussion? You should have the new numbers that you had requested. Those numbers seem align better with, I think, what we were looking for.
But the formula stayed the same.
Yes. Along with Mr. Kennedy's explanation in there on how that works. You guys have any questions on that or comments?
So are we, yeah, I do actually, Mayor, are we approving, whenever we're approving this, are we going to pick a deductible?
Well, I think that
Or
was part of what
Is
we
that
need
the
to do.
intent?
Yeah, we need to decide if we want the deductible program. My recommendation would be the $3,000 deductible.
That was the middle one, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I think, my understanding is we can pick any deductible we want, but I think
Yes,
that's,
and he explained that the 3,000 was the best, for our, specific for our, our claims to cover it. He said the 1,000 probably wouldn't be the way to go, and 5 is too much.
for our size of staff.
Yes.
So do I need to amend my motion
Yes, sir.
to pick the 3K
Deductible. Approve the
deductible,
plan
per
with
claim
$3,000
deductible?
deductible.
Adjust my second to reflect the same.
Further discussions on that? Again, my advice to the employees is to please be careful while you are on work so that you stay safe. And let's try to get that workman's comp number down to below a 1. Any further discussions? If none, we'll call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Shears,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yep, yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Okay, discussion and possible action to designate the 179-acre property donated by Tom Giles adjacent to the animal shelter as a city park.
Motion.
We have a motion from Brashears,
I'll second.
second from Choya. This is not to name it, this is just to designate that as a city park.
Whenever we do that, are we ready for discussion?
Yes.
Whenever we do that, are we going to have to start spending general funds on this, or is,
No, not
Okay.
at this. What the main purpose is to, one, get it designated as a park to prevent future opportunities for development. We don't want that to be developed. That wasn't why Tom Giles gave it to us. Second, there's a lot of grants that are working out there and programs like we've talked about in the past through the colleges and the schools and GRDA and Conservation Department that are taking place out there. And a lot of those grants would be more accessible to us for that, for the development, allow protection for the wildscapes, butterflies, if that is designated a park. That does not mean that Frank's guys have got to go out there and mow it. It's a different kind of park. So we're just looking for that designation as a city park right now.
thanks for the clarification.
Yes, sir. Any further discussion? You should have the maps in there in your packet. If there's no more discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Brashears,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes,
Gantier,
Yes.
He
again,
said yes.
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Lamar,
Yes.
All right, item C, discussion and possible action regarding the mayor signing an agreement to maintain roadways and alleys between the city of Pryor Creek and Mays County.
So moved.
Second.
You want to ask him about that, Charles?
I did, he's tracking the duplication between.
Yeah, I'll
the two.
explain item B
Okay,
in just a
okay.
second. And I will say that agreement was sent to me today. I think I sent it all to the council right at noon. I got it like 10 minutes till noon. It was a little different than the one originally presented. The county looked at the agreement and came up with one that was more suited for our situation as a city, with our agreements to how our tax distributions are in our population. Chase has reviewed that. Chase gave his blessing on it. It is a little more in-depth than the, 1913 one that we got last week. But it works and it covers us, and so the county has signed that. Their legal team has approved it. You guys approved that. We'll sign that tonight and get it back to them by tomorrow morning.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Just to clarify, I know that on the old, I believe you had mentioned, and maybe Councilman Smith had mentioned on the old agreement that we had talked about was that this was gonna be an agreement for this, you had mentioned for this, that this was gonna be an agreement for the city and the county to work together on street projects, maybe in the future.
Correct.
In this language, in the new agreement, it specifically only mentions this one road project. So I'm just wondering if in the future we have to do another contract for each thing, because it's on page 2. It mentions that we desire to overlay the 1 mile section of Old Highway 20, but it doesn't say anything that I see about other projects for the future, so.
Yeah, we may have to enter
Okay,
the same kind of.
I just want to
contract.
clarify that.
Yeah, this is not, I don't think this one is gonna give us carte blanche on every project we wanna work with them on.
Okay,
I do want to fully recognize the cooperative efforts between Mays County District 1, Mays County District 2, Randy Pierce's group, and the cooperation that they've had with us lately is to be commended. I think it's a great relationship that we haven't seen in a while, and we are grateful for that. Beyond grateful for their willingness to step in at a last minute, knock this out, and get this project done. So we want to foster that relationship that we have with the county, and this is a good step towards doing that. So if there's no further discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith, Lamar,
yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Okay, item D, I'm gonna read it, we will not have any action on it because it's covered in the addendum. Possible action to approve expenditure in the amount of $6,864 to advance work on services for striping to be painted on Northeast First Street, Old Highway 20, overlay to be paid from street rehab 141455410. We will take, there'll be no action on that item. Let's go now to the addendum, item 1. This will clarify why that is done. It's included in here in the itemization. Discussion and possible action regarding an expenditure not to exceed $223,000 for material costs related to the overlay and striping of approximately 1 mile of Northeast First Street to be paid from street rehab projects account 141455410. Pending approval of an agreement to maintain roadways and alleys between the city of Pryor Creek and Mays County. Itemized costs are to include, and if you do the math, you're gonna realize that these numbers don't equal the 223. The 223 adds in a little bit of contingency costs should we need it. $6,864 to advanced work zone for striping, $3,500 to Ergun for tack oil at $3.41 per gallon, and $1.25 EPA cost. That's for the total amount. $185,250 to Pryor Asphalt for 2,850 tons of asphalt at $65 a ton. That number you'll notice is up from the original amounts we bid because when we bid this project, we bid it at a 2-inch overlay. Because we're saving money, we're actually gonna be able to go with a 3-inch overlay, which will add another 5 to 10 years possibly of travel on that road. So that number will be 2,850 calculated by the engineers. And then lastly is 19,950 to Mays County for the laydown costs at $7 a ton. And that work will be done by Drill Right, who is a contractor exclusively with the county. So when you add up that amount of dollars, you're gonna come up probably closer to 213, 214, give or take some, and then we added, should we need some contingency. So, do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Brashears and a second from Gantier. Any further discussion? This project will start, if approved, we'll start Monday morning at 7 a.m. Buddy's crew is going to run, well, those that aren't looking at a street sweeper, we're gonna let Buddy do that, but they'll be working traffic control. Should go fairly quick. They said maybe a day and a half tops. and they'll be out of there, and that project will be finished, and then after they're done, it may be a few days, and then advanced work zone will come stripe it. So there may be a few days without stripes, stay between the lines, we'll be okay. So I guess at this point, any further discussion? Call for the vote.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
Okay, let's get that project done. Committee reports.
8.
Budget personnel is on the 8th. Okay. Ordinance insurance.
Still waiting for the agenda items you're looking at.
Get that to you by Monday. Street and maintenance.
July 22nd.
And I have received a few more of the street reports from some of the council members. Make sure that we get those in. Do you have any unforeseeable business? Don't think so. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion from Rushiers and a second from Gantier. Call for the vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
This time we'll call to order the Pryor Public Works Authority. Approve the minutes of the June 17th, 2025 meeting.
Motion.
Second.
A motion from Rushiers and a second from Choya. We'll call for the vote.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Abstain.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Approve claims for purchase orders for the Pryor Public Works Authority through July 1, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion from Choya, second from Gantier. Call for the vote.
Smith. Yes. Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier.
Yes.
No unforeseeable. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Motion from Rushiers and a second from Gantier. Call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith.
Adjourn.
Who's that lady?
Piece of turkey.
Member Bryan.